Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hello, my name is Leilani Thatcher. I am a tour guide at the Library of Lost Things at the Portland, Oregon location. In an attempt to make our library more accessible for our visitors, I have been tasked with recording the contents of our library for our visitor, and anyone who might be... Right, sorry. Luckily, Gavin will edit all this out. Okay, where was I? Right. This is The Doorstep Project, Episode 1, a brief history of the Library of Lost Things and the mystery behind the Doorstep Project. The Library of Lost Things is rumored to be the intersection of all dimensions, with access to all the worlds in existence, a place where all the roads come together. This is absolute nonsense. You can find an in-depth record of our museum history on our website. It suffices to say that during World War II, Carter Wright gained possession of a few crates of documents that were thought to be lost during the French Revolution. From the discovery of these crates, an idea was formed, a collection of lost things. Mr. Wright curated a small museum in Oregon that was running out of funds. While these French documents were interesting, they were not enough to draw much attention to the small library. Carter Wright began to make trades within the system for different pieces of history, some more authentic than others. He procured a small collection of dinosaur bones, pottery from Pompeii, art from a French monastery burned down during the Revolution, and a pearl necklace supposedly from a passenger on the Titanic. While none of these things were very interesting to the common people of the day, Wright managed to continue to keep his small museum open for business. Everything changed when the first box appeared on Wright's doorstep. It was a small crate, postmarked from England, containing letters from lost soldiers, most presumed to be dead in World War II. When the strange news broke, people came flooding, searching for letters from family members and friends. Surprisingly, many families found letters from loved ones during this time. This brought a lot of attention to the museum. When questioned where the letters came from, Wright would proudly show them the empty crate. On further inspection, both the return address and the name on the box were fake, and it was speculated that Carter Wright wrote most of these letters himself, although many family members who found letters from their loved ones insisted that the handwriting was from their missing family. Many of these letters are still on display and open for the public to claim if they have proof of ancestry. The next box appeared 1 month later. It was a shoebox postmarked from Wyoming, though the address and name were, again, fake. It contained a sketchbook. There was no name or any way to identify who the book might belong to. This piece began the Doorstep exhibit, as well as the otherworldly rumors that plague this museum. That is a story for another day, I think. Every once in a while, a box or a crate would appear on Carter Wright's doorstep, containing documents, books, letters, poems, and the like. It was always a different address, a different name, and they were always fake. Wright was accused of staging the mystery, but it continues on to this day, so many years after Carter Wright has passed. Every month or so, a box appears on the doorstep of the Library of Lost Things. We have come to call this collection of mysterious boxes the Doorstep Project. Sometimes we get boxes from people trying to trick us, sending us ridiculous stories and letters, but we can usually figure out the fake ones from the supposedly real ones. Many of these real ones have mysterious origins or include people who have never existed but have undeniable ties to real history or proof. Or they are simply interesting enough for Mr. Stillwell, the curator of the museum, to display for the general public. There are so many stories and documents put on display for all of our museum goers to enjoy, and now everyone listening can enjoy these stories as well, even if you are nowhere near our Portland, Oregon location. I will release exhibit stories about once a week until I've cataloged all of the history in the Doorstep exhibit. Some stories have objects that came with them, like arrowheads, jewelry, pictures, or other bits of paper that give context. I will give a detailed description of each of these objects for our listeners as they become relevant. Thank you for listening. I will be back next week. Thank you for listening to The Doorstep Project. This audio drama was created and produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a rating and review on your podcast app of choice or share it with a friend. Leilani and the project will return next week. Until then, write every day. One day your story could be in a museum. The Doorstep Project is produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. It was written, edited, and performed by AJ Barton. Sound effects for this podcast are provided by Zapsplat. Music used in this podcast includes Reawakening by Kevin McLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. You can learn more at his website, incompetech.com, or at creativecommons.org. Both music and sound effects have been changed and edited by AJ Barton. Links for websites, information, and contact can be found in the description of the episode. Would you like to submit your story or art to the Doorstep Project? You can find information for story submission at familyfriendlypodcast.com/The Doorstep Project. Information on CC by 4.0 licenses can be found at creativecommons.org.